Welcome back to Kingdom Business. We're privileged, as we said earlier, to have Dr. Eve Gadzikwa, the president of a continental body concerning standards, and that's what she was telling us just before the break. Now, Dr. Gadzikwa, you mentioned that you're now in charge of standard on a continental level. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, you're correct, Kumburai. In fact, in Zimbabwe, I'm the Director General for the Standards Association of Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. That is at a national level.
Yes.
But last year, in August, I was elected into office.
Wow.
As president for the Organization for African Standardization.
Wow.
The continental body. So essentially that means that I'm now overseeing 54 countries.
Well done. Congratulations, Madam President.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So this is very exciting, news. What it means is that I'm not only the first woman.
Really? The first woman to head that organization?
Absolutely.
Wow, that is amazing.
Woman. Yes, since its inception in 1977.
1977?
Yes.
That's 39 years ago.
Can you believe?
And that's the first woman we're getting now.
Only now.
Wow.
And I'm the
that's
first.
You.
Correct. And so I'm very excited about it. Because,
wow.
I'm taking over from Nigeria. The Director General of Nigeria, Dr. Joseph Odomudo,
okay.
He completed his 3-year term. So I take over from him. And so I've been president-elect since August of last year. And I took up office this year in June.
Wow.
So essentially for the next 3 years, 2016 to 2019.
You're running the continent.
I'm running the continent on standards. So
wow.
This is very, very exciting news.
That is exciting. Now, you said elected.
Yes.
How did that process go?
Well, like any other election, there are 54 countries in Africa
wow.
who are vying for this position.
Jeez.
So I was very interested, to take up this position. So when the election opened, I put out my name, and I received support from the other countries, and I also got support from my own government through the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. And I emerged the president.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done. You had to do a campaign and all sorts of things.
I had to do a campaign. I didn't have to do too much, funny enough. I didn't have to do too much. I think what is really critical is for you to be able to demonstrate your willingness to work with Africa. You see, Africa is a very complex animal, I should say, because besides the Anglophone part of Africa,
there's a Francophone.
Yeah, we also have the Francophone. We also have the Lusophone, the Portuguese.
Yeah.
Spanish, we've got Spanish in Africa.
And Arabic.
So.
And you convinced all of them.
I managed to convince.
That you were the one.
Well, I had a majority vote. Let me put it that way. So. So when the news came through that, I've been elected into office, the elections actually took place at African Union Commission. I'm sure you know where that is.
Yes.
Where Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma's office is.
Yes.
So in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, that was last year. And then this year, the handover ceremony took place at Arusha, Tanzania. Yes, and so I'm the substantive president, and there it is.
Now, you must be able to tell viewers out there that you just don't wake up president. How much of your work over the years helped you to get to that position?
Kumburai, I think it is good that you asked that question because, as I said, people think that you just wake up, becoming successful. You have to be prepared to put in work. The relationships that you develop over the years also determine how far you're going to go. As they say, your attitude will determine your altitude. And consistency in what you're doing.
Okay.
Because, when you're a standards person, you are basically the benchmark for companies, for individuals. I consider myself a role model because I also run a mentorship program for women. I have over 40 young executives that I mentor. And I think all this, has determined my destiny. And not being selfish. As you are going up the corporate ladder, you meet a number of people. And you shouldn't think that because you're in that privileged space, you remain there.
True.
You know, it's only for a short time.
True.
And while you're there, you should have, you know, invest in other people. As they say, if you cannot grow other leaders, develop other leaders, as you are going up the corporate ladder, your time in that leadership role is going to be very limited. So one of the things I've realized, not only in my work at the Standard Association of Zimbabwe, but in Africa as well, to play your part, play your leadership part. I mean, there's so many committees that I've been participating in at SADC level and at COMESA level. I've been part of the expert group on standardization. I've also been involved even at ISO level, under the ISO DEFCO Chairman's Advisory Group.
Yes.
So the leadership potential has been growing over the years. I've been chairing the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
I chaired the Institute of Directors of Zimbabwe.
Let's talk about the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Yes.
Tell us your experience about how that was. I'm sure that the first female chair.
First female chairperson of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Wow.
Well, the first day when I was attending my meeting, having been appointed to be a member of the board, they didn't have a chairperson. So, you know, everyone looked around and said, guys, we need to appoint a chairperson. So I was ready to write somebody's name down. And they said, Dr. Gadzikwa, you
are the one.
I said, no. I mean, I can't do this. So
why were you hesitant at first?
Firstly,
daunting task, is it?
Daunting task.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thought that comes across your mind is, no, there must be somebody else to do this work. But then again, as a Christian, you ask yourself, if it's not you,
then who else?
Who's going to do it?
Yeah.
Why do you want somebody else to do it? So I plucked up my courage and I said, okay. So, I mean, I didn't know that decision would take me for the next 4 years.
Wow.
Being chairperson. So I served as chairperson of Zimbabwe Stock Exchange successfully.
Successfully, you say?
Yes.
Key accomplishments?
Quite a number of them. Key amongst them was I embarked on, well, the mandate was very clear that I was given by the minister, was firstly, you need to automate, to modernize the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Because I'd been there and it was all manual.
It was all manual and, it was all the cry-out system.
Yeah.
So the first task that I had, besides setting up the governance structure, because we didn't really have a governance structure then, so I had to set that up, which was an achievement in itself, and even to develop proper committees of the board, because at that stage we had nothing. And then after that, I had to, develop a program to automate the exchange. In other words, to put in an automated trading system. During that time, we also needed to establish a central depository system, which is the back end of the Zimbabwe of the exchange. So the front end was the automation of ZSE, and then the other side was the Chengetedzai.
Yes.
So I was also part of that development. I also had to, start the process of demutualizing the exchange. In other words, moving it from a mutual society into a body corporate.
Yes.
So all this was happening within a very short space of time. So I had a lot of experience.
Well done. Well done. Now, it's exciting stuff that we're talking about here, and we're learning a lot, and I'm sure the viewers out there are very engaged by the experiences that you've had. Kingdom Business takes a short break. Don't go away.